somebody was suing, I want to say Starbucks, and I put the story, the full clip. I seen on Instagram, and some attorney general or somebody or attorney suing Starbucks, saying that because of DEI, that they were hiring unqualified people. Now, let's talk about DEI. That's something I ain't talked about. Check out the current news playlist. Now, I was watching a video on the brother Minister Japp did a video on DEI, and he had an interesting clip about the situation that happened in DC with the plane, right? And they had the head of the pilots or whatever, right? And he played the clip of him saying that they was looking for a diverse team, right? And that was his calling card to people. We looking for diversity. And also the issue with that is when they made people get the jab, a lot of they fired a lot of people. So one of the dispatchers was doing more than one job. So when something like that happens, even though it was allegedly, well, it's presumed, I don't know if it's official investigation is complete, that it was the military fault, that allegedly that one of the military drivers flyers was flying with the training goggles on, and they shouldn't have been flying with the training goggles on. And to explain everything that happened with that, as far as why is the military flying by a very important airport in DC, whole different type of situation, right? I'm not gonna get into that, but what was so funny about it was the guy was black, right? And he was basically saying that he was looking for a diverse team and this, that, and the third, right? So he's looking for diversity on his team. So you like, why are you mentioning this? Get to the point. So he got investigated when this happened, and they start asking him, did he know the procedures or what the pilots did and what he didn't know anything. This brother didn't know anything about the pilot's training, about the pilot's procedures, about the dispatcher procedures. He was unqualified. When they called him in front of Congress or the Supreme Court, whoever, he didn't know a damn thing. He didn't know anything. He said, well, I don't know. How are you the head of whatever this part of the department with the planes are, and you don't know none of the procedures, you never flew a plane, you never dispatched? And that's one of my biggest problems with America. I noticed this early on. I had a particular job. I used to be a fire marshal back in the day, right? So, the supervisors and the managers and stuff, we had one guy, he was the head fire marshal, but he only worked the mornings, typical, right? And, but the manager, of the other departments, he didn't know how to do nothing. So they would call you in from home, pay you cash plus time on the job to come do a particular job because they didn't know how to do it. And that's America. So when you think it's hard to start a corporation and get rich, it's not hard. It's just that a lot of these people have opportunity. It's about who they know, and a lot of these people got money from wealthy people already in the family. They got a head start. So it's not a badge of dishonor for black people to reach out and get help from each other. People, they think it's a badge of dishonor. All these companies, Jeff Bezos got fronted bread from, I think his wife's family, his family, all these people, they didn't get it out the mud, and no, they got fronted money. I see it all the time where, when you look at other cultures, these families start them off with houses when they get married. They reward them for getting married, which the government should reward you as well. But nonetheless, the diversity thing, it didn't benefit. Let me say this, why black men didn't care about abort missions, which I spoke about that, or I will be speaking about that on Free Game 89. Hit the link tree in the description. Join Free Game 89. Won't be disappointed. Join Patreon. That's in the description as well too. The one thing about the brothers, they don't care nothing about abort missions. You catch my drift? We didn't care because we have no say so. It's your body, your choice. So why do we care? Why would we want to vote for something we didn't care about and vote for the deletion of our children and the deletion of our lineage, right? But that's a different story for a different day. And we didn't care about diversity, diversity, equity, inclusion, whatever they call it, right? We didn't care because we never benefited from it. Did you know black people are the bottom of that DEI crap, or DIE, whatever they call it, DEI? We're the bottom. We don't benefit. We're the last ethnic group, or near the bottom of ethnic groups that benefit from DEI. We're the bottom. We're not even the main beneficiaries as a group. Black women in general, they benefit from it the most. And once you look at the job, they're the ones that take a lot of time off because women have health issues. They can't work as hard as long as men, generally speaking. So, but long story short, it's a lot of people that's unqualified that get these jobs, and supervisors, managers, and they hire them to meet a quota, so they won't get fined, so they get grant money. I think I think that has to go. We got to start getting back to the most qualified individual. And one of the things that Trump is getting away with that whole thing is when he's really targeting the government and nepotism inside the government. And I don't really have an issue with nepotism, but when you start hiring people in important places who don't know how to do the job and can't pick up on doing the job, that's a problem. We talking about building our cars. We talking about teaching our kids. When we talk about building roofs and all that type of stuff, cooking food and doing all that, and people cutting corners. No, we need to hire the best. DEI needs to die. It needs to DIE, and that's just the fact. We're not hiring the best and the brightest for these top jobs, for these important. Even somebody cooking your food at Chipotle, that's important. You can die, ninja. So yes, we're not benefited as a people from that. Look at the numbers. We're at the bottom. Men don't benefit from that. You know what they say about black men. We live a difficult life. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm just putting light on it. And I know a lot of y'all brothers, think like me. We have to be 10 times better to get the average position. And you know how the saying goes. Last hired, first fired. We can be exceptional at a job. So at the end, and we still get the short end of the stick, and we expect that coming in. We expect that come. We know what the business is. We know we can't have no slips, no falls. We know we can't bend the rules too much, and they're gonna make the example out of us. We know when we see certain people doing things, we know we can't do it. So yeah, so when you start talking about people starting to sue and people, what's the benefit of it? We're going to get the best people for the job. So guess what? That's going to make people step their game up. That's going to make you do your job and not be lazy and do your job and really step your game up. And we know people of all ethnic groups across the color spectrum that's phenomenal at their job, right? They're phenomenal at what they do, but they get passed up on opportunities. They don't get the supervisors, the manager job. They don't get the team lead job. They don't move up the corporation. And a lot of it has to do with DEI. It's a lot of people that get these positions of powers and don't know what they're doing, don't know how to manage people, don't know how to, do the jobs. If somebody fall out, they don't know how to step in and run it. And that's a huge issue in America where they don't hire within. They don't mind, other than wanting to have a high layoff or a high turnover rate because they don't want to pay nobody. They don't mind keeping you in the same position, not giving you a raise until you quit. Instead of, this guy qualified, he been on time, he knows the job well. Let's move him up. That's a huge problem in our society, in corporate America. If you do the job at an exceptional rate, it shouldn't be, I like you or not. Like, okay, you should be likable, respectable. But if you do the job, you should be promoted. If you are great at what you do, you should get the job. It shouldn't matter if you're a female, black, white, tall, skinny, fine, ugly, whatever it may be. If you can do the job at the best of your ability and you're qualified, or you can pick up and learn the job and do it greatly, you deserve that job, regardless. We need to get on an even playing field. And it's not like black people are benefiting from it at a high clip. I can see if we was 1, 2, or 3, we're at the bottom. But people don't research this. They get up in a frenzy, and guess what? Even if it did destroy us, it destroy us, guess what? Let's start supporting our own business and hiring our own people. If that's how you feel, start your own business and hire black people. But we already know how it is. Our black business owners already know how it is. If we want to keep it funky, hiring your family and your homies or people that look like you, then bitch you in your ass. It done bitch you in your ass. And even these entrepreneurs that know, that really did this before and they really been in the trenches with this, they know, hire the best and the brightest. Hire the trustworthy. Hire the qualified. And who are the people that support your business the most? Strangers. When black people create businesses, The number one people that support black people are strangers. And the number one people that support you and give you money and donate and encourage you to go on are strangers and people who don't look like you in the black community. Tell me, nigga, tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. So you talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion and all that type of stuff, man. The people that look like you support your business the most. And that real. In my Yo Got It voice. But hey, let me know what you girls and guys think, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out the current news playlist, the Real One-on-One playlist. Hit the link tree, find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Amazon, Kick, Twitch. Check out my Detroit channel. Check out my Free Game 89 channel. Join the Patreon, free for 7 days. You won't be disappointed. Peace.